Okay, so what I usually do is I introduce myself, the show, and
Yeah.
then I introduce you, and then away we go.
Awesome. Do I press the OK button? This is the meeting is being recorded. It says OK. Do I press OK?
Um,
Or I don't
yeah,
have to?
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
yeah. If you
Okay,
wanted
I
to,
pressed it. I
if
pressed
you
it. Okay.
wanted to disappear from the screen,
Oh, I see, I
yeah,
see, I
just
see. I
press
just pressed it.
OK.
Okay. Okay, got
Okay, okay.
it.
Okay, I'll give a 3, 2, 1 count, and then we'll get right into it.
Cool.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. My name is Edward Osredkar, the host of Edward Osredkar's Entertainer Chat. And no, this is not an on-the-fly interview. This is an actual traditional Zoom interview. And with me today, I have my guest, Amir Shah. And he's down in New York City. And right now he's on call for a project he's involved in. So I thank him very much for taking time out of his busy schedule to be with us today. And Amir, he is a SAG-AFTRA union actor. He's the executive producer and CEO of Persian Empire Films, and he is the producer of the experimental film of which we are going to talk a lot about today. It's called Let's Make It a Blockbuster Night. So, Amir, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Eddie. I'm all right. I'm on about 5 or 6 hours of sleep. I already ate breakfast. I had coffee. I'm a second cup of coffee. I'm ready to rock and roll Dexter Resurrection today.
Cool,
So
cool,
I'm
cool,
okay.
cool. And I like your location too because you got a lot of buzz in there and you got a lot of action. And yeah, this is really going to be a great interview. So yeah, let me just get right into the questions here about your Let's Make It a Blockbuster Night that you had screened and also won an award at the North Film Festival at the Producers Club in New York City back in February. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. One thing that I wanted to know is the title of your film, Let's Make It a Blockbuster Night, is that meant to convey your confidence in this film being a success, or does it refer to, say, each individual scene being like a standalone blockbuster short film?
I would more. It's more or less. It stands alone in its own right, an interpretation of a blockbuster night. From beginning to end, it's experimental, which could cause walkouts and standing ovation and infuriate, which it's supposed to do. That's what art is supposed to do. And so, yes, it is a standalone interpretation of what defines a blockbuster night.
Okay.
What is a blockbuster movie, and what is a blockbuster to and a blockbuster could be an action, could be CGI, could be Avatar, James Cameron, a Jerry Bruckheimer film, but it could be any multifaceted department of what defines a blockbuster film. Hence, that's why I called it "Let's Make It a Blockbuster Night," even
Blockbuster,
though
yeah.
it's a psychological thriller.
Yeah, yeah, and I like the fact that you sent me the entire film along with the trailer, and really, I don't know. In my opinion, the trailer could be like a standalone short film in itself, and
It can, yeah.
and then now hour and 20 minute feature film. I like the fact that each individual scene, even though they all have like a common thread, a common theme, they can stand alone on their own. And
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So, do you get the feeling that each and every time this is shown, people will maybe pick a different scene and maybe wonder if you're going to make like a full film out of like a particular scene that they like?
Yeah, yes. The first person who saw this in Florida thought they were watching a hip hop video in the very beginning of me. And I shot it that way as if it starts off like a hip hop music video. And it does start off looking like a short film. It actually almost looks like a commercial in some parts of the intro, even in the trailer it does, and I intended and shot it that way. But many people who see the beginning of the film who don't really necessarily have an open mind to art house and experimental, they give the WTF, what the fuck, and
Yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, what the fuck am I watching? And that is both the unexpected reaction, the unintended reaction, and it is also what I expect as the producer and director. So I'm gonna have people not understanding and not wanting to get this movie, and then I'm okay with that. So
Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. So,
ambulance, hold on, ambulance.
oh, okay. I love live entertainment, don't you? I love live entertainment.
I think it's about to pass.
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
but
Mm.
you said there was an ambulance. I didn't hear anything in the background, so I don't know
Okay.
what settings you have on your phone, but you
Oh, okay.
got them set just right because I didn't hear anything.
Okay,
I
good.
don't think
Okay.
anybody out there you even
Oh,
even
possibly not. Okay.
no, no, no. Good,
I
good,
thought I thought I
good.
was going to interrupt you, but anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, since like each individual scene can be like its own standalone, I think, to me, in my opinion, that was very innovative of you to have like different elements present, like in each scene. Like you were saying, like some of them could be like a commercial, an infomercial. Other ones could be like a music video.
Yes,
So,
yes, yeah.
uh, did you intend that to be that way? And maybe after the film was shown, get an opinion from the audience of what part they liked best, like music video, commercial, or whatever, and then maybe run with that, and then maybe use that as your next film? I mean, based on that?
That's what I like to call that's a good question. That's what I like to call for a filmmaker the unintended, unexpected consequence.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I call the unintended, unexpected consequence, which pretty much means in my own right that I I a lot of it's like visual medium art. A lot
Right.
of the sequences were forced. I forced a lot of the sequences on through just whether it was storyboarding, whether it was improvisation,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
and so a lot of there's some critics who have told me that I need to make another film.
I
Now,
agree. I agree with them. Just
I
keep
have a
it
lot. I have
going.
a lot of people telling me and I'm saying, what do you want me to make a sequel? I'm not making a sequel out of this. This movie is just one movie, but well, I need to make another film. I will eventually make another film. I don't know when I plan on doing that. I have ideas for other feature films. Right, I have my web pilot that I want to continue,
Okay.
contingent upon the success of Blockbuster Night. Now, it is an unintended, unexpected consequence because I everything that was shown within 1 hour and 20 minutes, I did not expect that I was going to create this. Everything was based upon consciousness and ideas
Okay.
and drawing images from
Okay.
my brain to a pad. And those images became a visual sequence, visual interactive medium art, which is
Okay.
what they do like in Eastern Europe too, and parts of Western Europe.
Yeah.
Some cinema is visual art. Now, I also have people arguing with me there's no story. The David Lynch would argue, who died, recently, that
Oh,
the
yes.
story is
Yes.
in the puzzle.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the
Uh-huh.
plot is in the puzzle, and not everyone wants to think, or they're too lazy to think. So the film starts out in such a way where it seems like, what's the story? What's the plot? A lot of audiences will feel that way as I continue promoting this in Europe, and I'm okay with that because the movie is logic, it's illusion, and it's up for interpretation. Lynch's films were like that, or Eraserhead, Mulholland Drive, Lost Highway. Mine is similar to that. It starts off as, what on earth is this? It's intended that way. It was unexpected, and people are going to tell me this guy needs to make another movie. This guy needs to make another movie. Oh, well, I don't disagree with them.
No, no, not at all. Well, you're getting them to think, and you're leaving them wanting for more. And
Right. Right.
that's the whole job, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you want to
Mm,
keep creating and
mm.
keep their curiosity up so they'll say, "My God, it's like, what is this guy going to make next?" Yeah, it's like we got to see it. We're on the edge of our seats. We got to
True.
see what's coming next, whether it's like a sequel or whether like it's another like a standalone film. I mean, yeah, in its own right. So, yeah, I'm going to go back to what you commented about, like storyboarding and all that thing. So, uh, when you first thought of this film, uh, were you considering more ad lib, or were there like actual sides for each scene, and then the actors like maybe took liberty with those and expanded upon them with their own ad libbing?
Correct. Yeah. The I had the actors expand on their own characters, and I also did a lot of the sound effects and sound design myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, filming a cockroach, filming me dancing nude, the knife with the blood, screwing around with the cinematography and the color lighting, color correction.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Uh-huh.
it's a lot of like shocking, visceral, intermedia or visual art that I perpetuated through just drawing those images or just shooting them through my just conscious mind.
Right,
So
right.
that it's a lot of that. It was the conscience. A lot of it was ideas. Again, going back to David Lynch, these
Yes.
were
Oh,
images
yes.
that came to me. Yeah, creativity, consciousness in the brain. When you
Yes.
have the when you have the images, when you have the ideas, quoting Lynch again, it's party time.
Yeah, right.
It is party time.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
when yeah, it really is. I didn't understand. I didn't 15 years ago. I didn't understand this. It's party time. I do now. You have a you yeah. I didn't understand what the hell he meant. I do now. That God bless him. Now it's the you are celebrating the visual medium art that's coming out of you.
Yes. Oh,
And
yes.
it's up to the audience to make that artistic or political interpretation of that, whether it be
That's right.
political
That's
or art or
right.
both.
That's
So
right.
yeah.
That's right.
Mm,
It's up to us to pull the audience.
mm,
Maybe sometimes they may seem like stagnant, like in their creativity. So
mm.
I don't know. I guess it's up to us to kind of pull that out of them and say to our audience, "Come on, you've got that in you down there, down deep
Exactly.
somewhere. Pull
Yeah,
it up,
yeah.
pull it out,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
have fun with us." You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I'm not saying it, and it's a very difficult film for people to kind of going to appreciate and understand. And I understand there will be walkouts in the coming future when I have more premieres, and people who appreciate avant-garde, Dadaism, surrealism, postmodern expressionism, from
uh-huh.
Dali to Van Gogh to Picasso. I can't think. Who else did I can't think of any other artist's name. But there's even from the 1950, 1940, the times of like World War II, World War One art. Those people, those art fans who
Yes.
understand that understand appreciate Dadaism, absurdism, theatrical existentialism. So
Yes, yes.
those are part of and theatrical absurdism. So
Uh-huh.
absurdism and theatrical existentialism are two important one of the most important components of the film.
Oh,
And
yes.
they're going to the real people who are educated on that stuff, they'll know what I mean when they see it.
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Well,
mm.
like to sum it up, in essence, those those different uh,
Artistic movements.
effects, yeah, those different effects and ideas, they've been around, but you have made people aware that they've always been around, and it's not something new. It's sort of like you're giving rebirth to it, right? And then
Exactly.
putting
Yes.
it in their face and say, this has always existed. It's nothing new.
Mm.
I'm not just pulling ideas out of the air, right?
Correct.
I mean,
Correct. Yeah.
basically, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Remanufacture old fashionism. Kind of like that way. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Mm, mm.
going back to David Lynch, and I apologize, I have to make a shameless plug for my show.
Oh
Uh,
no, no. Not to apologize or nothing, man.
If you want to, when you have the opportunity, several months ago, I did a two-part series about the life and times of David Lynch, and both one part of the series was in front of the camera, and another part of the series was his life in back of the camera. So whenever you have a free moment, take a look at those. They're both probably each part is probably about an hour long. So
Mhm.
I have like several other guests with me, filmmakers and
Oh, sure.
composers. So I think you'll really enjoy it, and I think everybody out there really enjoys it. For
Mhm.
whoever didn't see it yet, but
I see.
going back to the point you were saying about David Lynch about let's have fun or something like that. Uh, in acting, you've probably heard of this yourself in your acting training along the way, but I once heard that like an actor really has to go back to their 10-year-old self, because that's when, say, like their imagination sort of was at a peak in their childhood. They weren't like an infant, and it's before the teen years, before like, oh geez, I know everything, I'm an adult. So it's like the sweet spot where our imagination thrived at 10 years old. That's sort of like the high point. If you want to, I don't know if you ever heard of anything like that, but I thought I'd
No,
just bring
no,
it up.
no. That's correct. It goes back to when I was 12 doing William Shakespeare in theater.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right.
you have to. As a director, I revert back to those experiences.
Oh
And
yeah, you,
and I bring that in my filmmaking. I have
yeah,
to. That's
yeah.
important. Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
I once took a workshop where they had all of us kind of revert back to our 10-year-old selves, like in our mind. We calmed ourselves down from like head to toe, really calm. And they had us do an exercise. Okay, you're 10 years old, you're walking into your dwelling when you were 10 years old, whether it was a house, apartment, or whatever. Go in the front door, take a look around, see what the rooms look like, remember where the furniture was, the people in there, and it really worked. And it's like darn, it's like I feel like I'm 10 years old standing standing in the dining room or the kitchen again, and it's like everything was so clear, and
Yes, yes.
it
The
was
older
only
you get, the older you
yes.
get, it's like you direct and act as if you're young.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Mm,
So it's like that exercise got all of us so calmed down and so in the moment that
mm.
it's like you were ready to take on any role, because it's like your emotional doors were just like wide open like that, and it was
Totally agree.
wonderful. It was wonderful. So, but yeah, um, yeah. Continuing my questions with the film now. I think we just started to touch on this a little bit, but um, I was wondering, say, like, what is the message that you were trying to convey to the viewers? If it was like one message or like a multi-message idea, or uh, did you want the viewers to formulate their own opinion of everything going on in that film?
Combination of both. Combination of both. The the whole film discusses social identity crisis. It discusses Instagram and the Instagram generation, the
Hmm, hmm,
TikTok generation.
hmm.
It goes over loneliness. It goes over despair, depression. It goes over the Gen Z generation.
Yeah.
It's a social identity crisis. It has to do with Hollywood. It has to do with Hollywood not doing things correctly in the studio, greenlighting scripts and
Uh-huh.
writing bad writing, and it has to do with the message of overall movies and
Hmm,
why
hmm.
we're in the theater to begin with. It's about a lot of those things. Now, however, with the 18 to 35 or let's go a little older, 18 to 41 crowd, 42 crowd, they want to, or 18 to 50, they want to formulate their own opinion. That's wonderful. That's fine with me.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
but anyway,
Mm,
it just gets them engaged and their
of course.
attention because
Yeah. Mm,
so many things are being thrown at them, like
yeah.
different visual effects, different sound effects, like different video, like wavy effects and like
Yes.
static and everything. It's like, man, I says somebody that's not, I mean, I had an idea going into this what it was about, but it's like somebody going into this like cold. It's like, whoa, it's like, what's
Yeah,
going
I
on?
know. I know. I know.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. There is, it's a disconnect with people, the social disconnectedness with people, or I learned this back in sociology, University of Florida, putting the recalcitrant members back in line.
Uh-huh.
And that's the issue today, is the recalcitrant structure is disconnected. So
Uh-huh.
entirely, so psychologically, right now there is a major disconnect in the Instagram society. That's why this film exists now.
Uh-huh.
You know, and it's a miracle this movie even exists. I mean, to be honest with you, it was a catastrophe. The edit, the footage was a disaster. I miraculously fixed everything
That
in time. Yeah,
that must have been a really involved
headache,
process to
headache,
know. Well, yeah, I mean, to know
stress, the stress. It was
stress,
a yeah,
stress and probably many sleepless nights, right?
yeah, yes, yes, yes,
Wondering, oh
yeah.
my God, did I take out the wrong thing? Did I leave in the right thing, right? It's like with all that footage, it's like how did you decide how to filter all of that to kind of decide what to leave in? I mean, to me, it's all equally informative, but it's
Yeah.
like, how do you decide what goes in and what goes out?
I had to, I had to, I had to. Well, by all the errors, by all the missing links, by all the disastrous footage. To answer your question, I had to force more footage, force more imagery out of me to correct the errors and
Oh,
add
okay.
on top of the layers that were already screwed up.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Okay.
like the watercolors are all a mess in one area, and the other areas they're okay. So how do you fix the areas that are a disaster? Well, you have to add extra layers to cover up the mess on the paint.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I
No,
had to
no.
do, which was overwhelmingly stressful, but I created, I believe, some sort of cult classic. Mm.
I mean, you did. I mean, it's like that juxtaposition of everything makes it work because it's like a collection of like different ideas, different visual effects, different audio effects, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean everything fits in its own way. So yeah, kudos to you
Thank you. Thank
for
you.
and so like you were saying, you had to fix and paint over colors that were all messed up and screwed up. So
Yeah.
uh,
Mm.
did you end up shooting maybe twice as much film as you intended to correct all of that?
I had to. I had no other choice. Otherwise, I would not have had a feature film.
No,
I
no,
I
I
had to
know.
I had to force it to a feature film. And I had this argument with I won't mention the person's name out of respect, but I had this argument with somebody that it's not a feature film. It's not a feature film. Well, you're right. It was not supposed to be a feature film. It was supposed to be a fucking Italian beer advertisement, a commercial. That was what
Right?
is it, and was it that was what I initially intended during the COVID pandemic. I forced it into a feature film because 42 minutes into the footage on Final Cut Pro X, I decided this needs to be a full-length film. There's something going on here. There's something going on in this film that is monumental. And
Uh-huh.
I feel it in my gut. And I
Uh-huh.
went to Times Square. I shot in the M&M store. I went to Mamaroneck Cinemas. I shot there. I filmed in a pizza joint at the very end of the film, and I made all of that metaphorical. What I did was add more metaphors, add more symbolism, which is, I would say, 86% of the film is symbolism, metaphor, and allegory.
Yes,
So
yes,
yeah, a
yes,
lot of it is. A
yes,
lot of it is allegory, and people have to know, what does it mean.
yes,
A few people get it at the first viewing. Some
yeah.
don't. So
Well, for those that don't get it at the first viewing, that's a benefit to you because you got them going again to try
I
to
want to see it again. I want to
understand,
see it again. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
To try
yeah.
to understand either what they think maybe they missed, or if they didn't miss it, they're not quite sure if they understand it, or if they go back a second or a third time, maybe they'll understand it in a different way, maybe closer to what you intended uh,
Right,
the
right,
message,
right, right.
right? The
True.
message to be.
Of
So
course, absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, I don't think that this film would have come out as well as it did if, say, like you, in my opinion, if you played it just like straight line everyday life. I don't think it would have worked. There wouldn't have been that, like to me, there wouldn't have been that wow factor, in your face if it was just
Um,
ordinary, mundane, everyday life, and uh, uh,
yes, yes. I
you
see
know,
what you mean. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
I
that's that's the argument I have with people. They say, "Why don't you make a regular movie?"
you,
Well, what the hell is a regular movie?
right,
What the hell is a regular? I don't understand what a regular movie
right.
is. Regular movie.
Uh, I mean, you think back,
I made art.
that's what film is. Like when I first started to get into film, they taught us. Well, I was brought up and
Right. That's
trained
what film
on
is.
this. Yeah,
Mm,
I was brought up and trained on the stage. So
mm.
it's like, okay, now you're in film. It's like you're acting, but it's a different type of acting. And I was taught that film is like you were mentioning. It's an art form. It's a way of conveying ideas. You're up there on a stage in a play. You do the same thing every night for 2 hours. Dum bum bum. You're done. But film, uh, along with the settings and the video and the audio and the actors, it's like the director, writer, whatever, is painting a picture just like he's an artist with a portrait, right?
Yes, yes. And exactly what David Lynch said again. Everything you just said. Yeah, which is true though. You have to not copy, but you have to follow the masters.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. They
yeah.
laid the groundwork. They found what works.
Mm,
So I think it would be like uh, detrimental to say like to a filmmaker's career to not want to like follow the outline of what was successful before that filmmaker came along. So
yeah,
uh, yeah, just like the great painters, artists, they saw the artwork of those that came before them, so uh, they sort of maybe borrowed their ideas, but being the great artists that they were, they
yeah.
took it a step further and further developed it. And who knows, maybe in future years, those newer artists will will their ideas will be used by the younger generation coming up. So,
Correct. Yeah,
you
correct.
know,
Inspiration. It comes from
inspiration,
within.
exactly,
Yeah,
inspiration,
comes from
exactly.
within.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, talking about inspiration, I'll take it about a step further. So, in this film, what was your motivation to create this film, with the nonstop in your face, high tension? Was it influenced by maybe some other films that you saw, or maybe it was just maybe like a stroke of inspiration that hit you the right way, that you had a gut feeling that says this is the way to go?
You know something, to be honest, the inspiration, I don't think while I was shooting, uh there was an inspiration that was there, present. Uh although I have been inspired by Eraserhead, Lost Highway, and Stanley Kubrick films from before, from younger years. But at the time as I was shooting, I was just putting together, and pushing and editing and shooting images in my mind to to more or less perpetuate whatever the remaining of production was, some sort of story that had to do with Hollywood entertainment, and of course the whole lollipop advertisement and the M&Ms and the sugar and the candy. Not saying there wasn't any inspiration present. There absolutely was. I just don't. I think at the time, because of the pandemic, I was too focused on the ideas that were puzzled in my head to just get them on the screen, get them on the editing board, that I wasn't really thinking about what I was inspired by.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope that
Okay.
answers your question. Yeah.
Oh
I'm
no,
not
it
sure.
does totally. So,
Yeah.
so really, like from beginning to end, uh, I mean, you had like a general idea and storyboards and everything where you wanted to start and the story, and then where you wanted to end. But like everything in the middle was sort of like a gut reaction of what you kind of
Yes.
felt at the
Yes.
at the
Correct.
moment, and then
Right.
that
Yes.
gut reaction got you from point A to point B, and then maybe from point B to point C, you weren't sure, but from point B, you got the gut reaction, so that took you to point C, and so on.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yes.
okay,
Exactly. Yeah. Even when I
okay.
cast Andre Tuck and Ariane Cespedes, Andre Tuck, the black actor in the beginning, and Ariane Cespedes, the other actress in the beginning.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
they were. I cast them so suddenly. I cast them so quickly without even hesitation, not thinking, because of everything's kept COVID, this, COVID, this, COVID. Everybody's reason behind years ago is COVID, but
right.
because I was moving so quickly, and I paid them cash right when it was wrapped.
Yeah,
I thought to myself, like, this is the fastest casting. I didn't do any cold reading with them. Usually professional ways to bring them into an office, do a cold reading, do an audition. I did
right,
none of
right.
that. I forced everything. And it looks like the forced effect reinforced something positive.
Yes, yeah. Well, in my opinion, I don't think this could have been done any other way because it was like in your face nonstop. So to
Mm-hmm.
me, that casting technique work, if you want to call it casting technique, that gut feeling, it's like I feel good about this cast member, that cut, go run,
Yeah.
run with it. So yeah, I don't think it could have worked as well like any other way doing that. So
Mm. Right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, just like I was mentioning, it was a gut reaction to go from point A to point B in the story, and I think your gut reaction worked really well on casting. So those two people, those were the two actors that we first saw when the film opened. Like it was like a park setting, right? It was like in a park.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. The
Okay.
rest of the cast, like when Eli Jeffrey Zen in the dinosaur suit, brilliant. Peter Diaz with the blood and the popcorn, another action packed Hollywood bonanza, and then Ruta in Lithuania with the whipped cream on her face, and all the the stripper pole dancer Caitlin Lachelle with the nudity, and
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
so everything comes together in fruition. Everything comes together. Everyone's mind blowing in the film. Every single person, even Johan Luna, the young animated cartoon actor, he's awesome too. When a black man, a white lady smile and pantomime with no dialogue, it's a message from the blockbuster. So these nuances, it's like we're speaking to you. He's speaking to the audience.
Uh-huh,
The
uh-huh.
what's going on here? What's wrong with the overall architectural landscape of cinema? That's what Let's Make It a Blockbuster Night pretty much asks. What is wrong with the architectural landscape of cinema, the cinematic structure of the architecture that
Okay,
it
okay,
is? Yeah.
okay.
So yeah,
So
yeah.
it's more or less like say like you're feeding the viewer all of these like individual emotions and scenes, and it's like you want them to figure out on their own. That's the message, right? Instead of saying,
Right.
here's the
Yes.
message, like
Yeah.
instead of saying, here's the message, enjoy the film. You want them to work their way
Yeah. Yeah.
painstakingly through each
Right.
scene,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Which is the way it should be.
No,
The
I know it. No, I
yeah.
totally
Yeah.
agree. I totally agree
Yeah.
because
It was,
because
yeah.
to me it's like a fluid experience. It's like you're actually, and instead of say like going to a regular movie, like you were saying, what's a regular movie, and like just sitting there and say, okay, entertain me, screen. It's like they're actually I think without them knowing it, they're actually immersed in the story, right?
Entertain me, screen. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
well, well,
correct,
well,
correct,
well,
correct,
what
correct.
did I say?
No, so what you said, entertain me, screen. Like you're telling the screen to entertain me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah,
You-
the whole that's why when I say let's make it a blockbuster night, it's like I'm telling why we should sit here and question the notion of entertainment and what is it?
yeah,
What
yeah,
is
yeah.
it? Yeah, what the hell is entertainment? And is entertainment political? Is entertainment religious?
It,
Is it entertainment sad? Is it fun? What does
it,
it mean? And what is it doing to our
yeah, yeah,
brains?
yeah, yeah.
Which is what the movie, overall questions.
Right, right. To me, I think our idea and our notions of entertainment probably change every decade, right? I
They
mean,
do. Yeah.
with the evolving technology, different technologies, whether it be,
Right.
CDs into thumb drives, or like 8 tracks to cassettes, cassettes to CDs, burning CDs to thumb drives. So, um, yeah, I think entertainment the way it exists today, people maybe even 20 years ago couldn't even imagine what we're being entertained by today, right? I mean,
Correct. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We don't
yeah,
know. It's up to directors like you and me
right,
to you just to really to push the envelope and see where it can go
right,
and the purpose of it, the point of it is
right, right, right. So,
because we want meaning and value
oh,
and
naturally,
purpose.
naturally,
Yeah,
naturally.
yeah.
Um, you were talking about like the different cast members that you had. So, that was really like an international cast, right? I mean, they,
Some of them. The woman that speaks German on the phone is Nathalie Boyer. She's famous in France. She's getting big over there. So she
okay,
plays my publicist, or the German television production company. And Eric Clausen, I had him smoke the cigar. He did outstanding. Again, shot him. I gave him. He filmed that. His father filmed him during the pandemic,
oh wow,
and yeah. And I'm trying to think. Oh yes, Tabby Fernandez. I had her husband filmed her. I told her to speak in Persian, Farsi, so she did phenomenal. I directed her so many times to do that with the enthusiasm that she did, which she delivered greatly.
uh-huh,
So and
uh-huh.
Francis Allen's always phenomenal. Even though his scenes are rather short, it still punches people in the face
Yeah,
to
yeah,
question what's the action for, what's the violence for, what's the sex for. I'm the one questioning sexuality. I'm the one
uh-huh,
questioning nudity with my nude scene. Some
uh-huh.
people hate that, some don't get it, but that's art for art's sake.
I was
So the
just,
cat,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No, I was just going to say, it's all art and it's subject to everyone's
interpretation.
interpretation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All people, I mean, in my opinion, all people, I think they have their own definition and idea of what art is. So you're just presenting like a smorgasbord of everything for them,
Pretty much, yeah, yeah.
right, to kind
Yeah.
of pick and choose there. So,
Mm.
yeah, so yeah, going back to your cast that you cast. So, um, how did you decide? I mean, even though there was like an overall theme, a thread, story thread, like through each scene, even though it was slightly different than the one before, the scene after. So, how did you decide the conflict for each scene and which characters you wanted to insert in those scenes?
That is all, I believe, based upon my my forced intentions on how I decide to edit.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, because it's really everything is editing. That in that regard, it's how fast I'm editing, how slow I'm cutting, and how fast I'm editing and cutting and editing and splicing.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So everything has to do with how I decide to reinforce the additional procedures of pushing the film into a structure
Okay.
in the way that I'm editing. So I don't think there's no really correct way which actor goes in which angle or in which
Okay.
panel. You just kind of have to feel it.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when you started out, you didn't have, I was just wondering, you didn't have like any particular order of the scenes. It's just like it evolved with your
Yeah.
gut feeling where you wanted.
Correct.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. I think that's impossible. How you know the structure and order of a narrative film. As you're editing and editing and shooting
Uh-huh.
simultaneously, you just know. And Lynch said that. Lynch did say that. You'll know. You'll feel it. Yeah, he did say you can't force that stuff. You'll know. You'll feel it.
No, no, I know it.
It'll
Well,
come to you. As you're editing, it'll come to you. It's the emotion, the passion, they will work. It will work. It will
yes,
drive. It
yes,
will drive. It will come. That's
yeah,
that's the beauty of cinema and art and filmmaking. It comes, it flows. Lynch did say that. You can't force that. You don't know if Ariane, D'Andre, Francis, Johan, put Eli in the beginning, put D'Andre at the end. No, it is just the way the film is from beginning to end. It's both a utopia and a dystopia,
yeah, yeah,
and it and
yeah,
it it, it just flows organically, and
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
it was meant to be that way.
Yeah.
So
Even
yeah,
even like even though you mentioned before like it was frustrating, many sleepless nights and things like that when you were doing the film, uh
yeah,
having that emotional freedom like that without saying, well, it's got to be structured this way. Scene one has to come before two and two has to come before three. That must have been like an absolute wonderful feeling of freedom, wasn't it?
of
Not to be,
course, yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
because you don't right, yeah. You don't have a
Yeah,
producer telling you what to do. You don't have a studio telling you what to do.
yeah,
I
yeah.
used, I used, I, you know, I used my own money. I used my own money. I paid the cast. I didn't have a
Uh-huh.
crew. The crew was me. If I had said I didn't have the crew, I did have a crew. Crew was me, one man crew. So yeah, who did Katie, who loved the film so much, thought it was brilliant. She got it from beginning to end. So who did the DP? Me. Wow. Who did the camera work? Me.
Yeah.
Wow. Really? I've never seen DP work like that. Like I
Wow,
thank you.
wow, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you're referring to our Katie Rias, right?
Yeah, yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
thought the
Oh.
DP work was amazing. She's never seen DP work like that. So I didn't have a DP. Oh, I did. I was the DP.
Yeah,
So
right, right. Well, being wearing all the hats like that, it gave you like the freedom of being in total control of everything, right? Everything came out the way that you see fit, right? It's like,
yes, 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 yes. I understand those jobs too. I want to understand director photography. I want to understand production design
yeah,
and
yeah.
sound effects. Yeah, I've been doing sound effects editing for over 12 years. I've been doing editing for over 16 years. So
Okay,
I don't need to
okay.
hire an editor. I am an editor.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but but if you ever had to like say someday somewhere along the line where you only had to wear like the director or the writer hat, I mean at least I mean if you had say like all of those other people working for you, DP and sound and editing and everything, at least you know 100% what's going on, right? I
Correct.
mean,
Yes, yes, yes.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm.
because like they say, not only have you talked the talk, but you've walked the walk. You've been there. You've been there and you've done it. And
It's
I
good to, yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
It's imperative. Yeah. It's imperative to learn those departments.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
and really say like not only in filmmaking, but say in any other kind of job that anybody has. It doesn't matter, like construction, accounting, whatever. It's like I think the best training is to start at one level and work yourself up, or start at one position and learn everything around it. And then by the time you get up to the higher level and you're finally in charge and say don't have to worry about the challenges of all those other departments. You know if people that are working for you are doing a good job because you've been there.
Absolutely.
You've
Yeah, yeah,
been
yeah.
there. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I I think that's amazing that you know how to do all of that. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's like you're like the master of all trades, all wrapped into one filmmaker, right?
Yeah, every independent director should know all
Oh
that stuff. They
yes.
should, yeah. They
Oh
should learn screenwriting. They should learn cinematography, production design, costume, wardrobe, and financing too. Executive for
oh
financing. They should
oh
learn that too. How do you
well,
fund your own film? And what the cameras you should use, the angles you should use. Go to film school, not to go to film school. These those are very important.
right,
PA,
right.
first AD, all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Mm.
talking about film financing, you go to a lot of these film festivals, and a lot of times they have workshops on how to look for funding, how to obtain funding. There was a workshop at the North Film Festival by this. He's from New York City. This Stefano, and it was invaluable information. So yes, like they were saying, that's the reason they call it show business, right? Because not only is it show, but it's
Business. Yeah.
business. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you better know what you're doing to keep yourself afloat. So yeah, so yeah, we were talking about like all the stress like involved in not only making this film, but like any film project that a filmmaker makes. So um, uh, relating to the story, the high stress of the story. So is your use of the high level of stress and conflict, like in each of these scenes, to keep the viewer's attention throughout the entire film? I mean, was that your intent, like from the very beginning?
Yes, more or less. Yeah, it's a visceral experience. It's
Okay,
intended that way. Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I know a lot of times, uh, audiences might go into a film and like if it's to say the traditional film, like we were saying, what's a traditional film? Uh, some parts of the story maybe might lag or not be as exciting as others, but and
Yeah. Yeah.
interest their interest gets lost, and then sometimes they forget altogether what's the story, where
Story.
it's
Yeah.
going. But I think, like they say, you hit the nail right on the head in
Mhm.
the filming technique that you use to keep
Mhm. The
literally.
audience engaged. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
literally the audience on the edge of their seat, so they
Mhm.
don't know
Mhm.
what to expect.
Mhm.
They don't know what to expect in the
Yeah.
next scene. So, yeah, no, again, kudos to you for that, because once again,
Yeah.
your
Mhm.
gut feeling came through. So,
It's a
uh,
movie I will be transferring to Blu-ray too. I will have
oh, good.
I
Oh,
will I will restore it to Blu-ray eventually. Yeah. Yeah.
okay. No,
Yeah.
I'm glad you made that point, because it's
Yeah.
like the more mediums that this is available on.
No, no, this needs to be on Blu-ray, and I will go to the Brooklyn Night Owl Video, Williamsburg. I think it's in Williamsburg. Night Owl Video that just opened in Brooklyn. I'm gonna have them on the shelf there. I'll even sign a few copies and put them on there, like 12 or 13 of them. I'll put them on there, yeah, on the
Oh,
shelf.
okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have an idea when that signing will be? Just so.
No, not yet,
Oh,
not yet.
okay,
No, I have
okay,
to work on that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I mean, I could say soon, but I mean, who knows when soon is?
No, no, I know. Yeah, soon is subject to anyone's interpretation, right?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
soon for
yeah.
me isn't soon for you, or whatever. But
I'd like to say this summer, but I don't know
okay,
when. But
well,
I will make it happen though. So yeah,
okay. Well,
yeah, yeah.
at least everybody knows,
Mm.
everybody out there in Zoom,
Mm.
YouTube land, or whatever that's listening right now, at least they'll know to expect it and to anticipate it,
Yeah,
well, whenever it's going to come. So
true.
I'm glad you mentioned it and
Mm.
brought it up. So
Mm.
we're all about promotion here on
Mm.
Entertainer Chat. So
Mhm.
anything promote away. So um, my before we end here, to wrap things up here, I wanted to bring up the subject of Woody Allen related to your film here. So, did the filming techniques of Woody Allen and like Alfred Hitchcock of putting themselves in their own movies influence your decision to play a role in this film?
To some
So,
degree. I
yeah,
would say to some degree, yeah. I know
yeah, yeah.
Hitchcock does that a lot. He just kind of appears out of nowhere when Woody Allen actually acts almost in an entire film.
I know it's.
Yeah. More than appearance. He acts an entire movie. Woody Allen's known for that. But
I know.
Hitchcock does it more mysteriously, I
Yeah,
would say.
right. He,
Yeah,
yeah, right.
more.
He kind of wanders in, or maybe you see him like in like with that
Mhm.
profile in the background, or
Right, exactly. Yeah. Which
so
is
the
what I prefer. I prefer to say a few lines and then kind of come in and out. I think in Let's Make It a Blockbuster Night, I'm in a couple of scenes and maybe I think one or two or three. Four.
but you're right at the beginning there. I
In the
mean,
beginning.
you're in
I'm
the
in, yeah,
face right there,
yeah, yeah. I'm in the beginning too.
with the glasses on
Yeah,
there, and
the hat. Yeah,
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 you
yeah.
go Instagram, or
Yeah, I know. Yeah. What people like to call the hip hop video, the hip hop part of the video,
yeah,
which
right,
which
right,
is fine with me. I didn't intend it to be a hip hop style sequence or a hip
okay,
hop music video style sequence, but that's what the intent. That's what came out. Fine.
that's
I'm cool
right,
with that.
that's
It's
right.
okay.
Well,
It's okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, do you think like in your future films you want to continue to do that, kind of insert yourself in different spots, not a
I'll cer-
necessary, you
I'll
know?
certainly do it, but the narrative will transform though. It will be
Okay,
something completely different though. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Yeah.
because if you continue to do that, like in future films, uh,
Mhm.
people are going to be looking for you and say, okay, now here's a new film by Amir, premiere of Amir. Okay, now where's Amir gonna, where am I going to see him now? Am I going to see him in the beginning in your face, like in It's a Blockbuster night, or is he going to be like at the very end before the closing credits? Do we have to wait
Yeah.
throughout the whole movie to see Amir? In the
Yeah.
middle, it's like, where's he going to
That,
be?
I would say that's all. That's going to be all up to script, emotion, and feeling. What I'm feeling at the time. So
Okay,
I'll
okay.
leave it at that. Yeah.
Your gut feeling. Let
Right.
your gut
Right.
feeling never steers you wrong
Of
there.
course not. No.
No,
No. It's
no,
there for a
no.
reason. Mhm.
That's right. That's right. Well, Amir, I mean, I've looked forward to this interview for so long, and
Me too.
I'm so
Mhm.
glad that we were able to do it. And what better way to do it with like New York City in your background? That's like the best backdrop that you could possibly have.
Yeah.
Everything worked great. I could hear you crisp and clear. I
Awesome.
couldn't hear any background. I see a couple people walking behind you now. I see the buses going by. I didn't hear any background noise.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
whatever technical thing you did to drown out that, uh,
Excellent.
it worked. It worked.
Excellent. Excellent.
So, yeah, so I thank you very much for being on the show today. And
Thanks.
everyone, my name is Edward Osredkar, the host of Edward Osredkar's Entertainer Chat. And today I've had the extreme pleasure of talking with Amir Shah, SAG-AFTRA union actor, executive producer, and CEO of Persian Empire Films, and producer of the experimental film of which we have been talking about this past hour. Let's make it a blockbuster night. So, yeah, until next time, everyone have a good day and a good week, a good life. And Amir, once again, thank you very much for graciously accepting my invitation to be on my
Not a
talk
problem.
show.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's been an absolute pleasure, and I cannot wait
Same.
until the next time that we meet in person,
Mhm.
and hopefully do an in-person interview next time. So
I would actually prefer that would be the best. I
I
would like
know it.
that.
I
Yeah.
know it
The
really
way it
would.
should be.
I know
Yeah.
it. I know it. So this
Yeah.
is just a taste of what to come. We're just teasing them out there of better things to come.
That's what I want to hear.
That's
Nice.
right. That's what I want to hear too. That's what I want to hear too. So once again, Amir, thank you for being on the show.
Not a problem. Thanks very much,
Thank
man.
thank you very much, everyone. And yeah, we'll we'll see you all next time.
Eddie, thanks very much. I'm going to start heading inside, get more. Have a good day.
Okay, you too, Amir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, bye.